Good afternoon. I hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. Last week we talked about how depleted we were with our defensive line, and I can't be more proud of how those guys stepped up and performed this past week. So, starting with Sheldon Richardson, tremendous job in really trying to neutralize the run game. I think he had 2 sacks, and all the guys stepped up front. So, we got to have another great performance out of those guys again this week in order to accomplish our goal. And with that, I'll take your questions.
You're getting Larry back on that defensive line. So, what's his mental state been, and how does he look?
Larry's been great. It's been good to get him back in the building. He's very excited to be here. He's had a great week of practice, and again, he's just looking to get out there and perform.
Hey, Steve, what do you see when you look at Hodges, and how difficult is it when he's got so kind of small resume, I guess?
Well, number one, I think he's athletic. I think he does a good job in really, trying to buy time with his feet. I think he's going to do a little bit more in my anticipation, talking to the guys. We got to be ready for, possibility a little bit more rollout, a little bit more boot, trying to get him on the perimeter. But most importantly, we got to make sure that we contain him. I think he does a decent job in still trying to push the ball down the field. And I know they have good running backs. Connor practiced yesterday. He was limited. And Snell is a good running back, and as well as Samuel. So, we got to stop the run, and that's going to be the key for us up front.
It seems like Hodges is taking a whole lot of deep shots, but you still think he's got that in his arsenal?
I do, and I really think that's just part of what they do. When you look at the makeup and what they try to do offensively, trying to push the ball down the field vertically. So we just got to be ready for that. And again, you never really know with a young quarterback just stepping in there, a guy that hasn't been in there much. So you go back and you watch what he did against, the Chargers when he came in. So they're going to do pretty much their offense. That's going to be the key.
How does not having Pouncey kind of change things for them?
I don't really know how much it changes things. I will say he is definitely a Pro Bowl caliber center. So, not having a guy in there like that, it may affect him, but I'm sure whoever the backup that they put in there is going to be efficient, and we just got to be ready once again to stop the run up front and try to get those guys into 3rd and long.
With Olivier, we don't know if he's going to play yet, but if you get him back, what kind of boost is that?
It's going to be a great boost if he can go. He's been limited this week and trying to see exactly how he feels. He was playing at a high level before he left, and hopefully we can try to get him back this week.
Is there any? I know you kind of play who you play, but is there any less edge to this because Mason Rudolph isn't out there?
We're just trying to really be 1-0 after this game. That's been our mantra. That's everything that Freddie's been preaching to the team. So regardless of whoever it may be out there at quarterback, we're just trying to make sure that we go out there and do our job to try to put ourselves in the best position to win this game.
Have you ever been around a guy having an interception streak like Joe is?
No, and I hope it continues this week. Joe is playing at a high level. Probably playing, probably one of the best linebackers in the league right now and how he's performing. So he's a leader for us. He commands the defense out there, getting everybody aligned and things that we ask of him. So I'm excited about his performance thus far this year, and hopefully he can keep it going.
I know you mentioned Sheldon in your opening. Did you feel like he kind of took that whole D-line on his shoulders last week? Is the only guy left?
I did. He's been a leader from day one, but the way he stepped up last week, with those guys being out and really just trying to corral everybody, and then to have the performance that he had out there on the field. So I just commend him tremendously for his efforts and, most importantly, his performance.
When a guy's on a run like Joe is on, how much of that is you're just in the right place at the right time, and how much of it is he kind of knows what's coming, he's able to read things?
It's a little bit of both, and I always say it starts in practice. I tell guys all the time, you got to practice well, all right, for you to perform well in the game, and Joe has that consistency every day in practice. And you're right, he's smart, he understands, he studies film, he has great anticipation in exactly what's coming. We always talk about the formation that's talking to you. You got to listen with your eyes. So he does some great things in regards to that pre-snap, post-snap play, and he puts himself in position to make plays.
What went into the decision to cut Devereaux? And I mean, it seems like a surprise given the fact that he'd started the last couple games for you.
You know, when you talk about personnel decisions, I really leave that up to Freddie and Dorsey. Devereaux is one of my favorites. You know, he was doing some good things for us. But again, I wish him all the best, and I don't know if anybody picked him up yet, but hopefully they will. He's a good player.
What have you seen out of a couple of the young guys, specifically Brian Cox? I know he played a decent amount of snaps last week for you. Do you like how he's been able to step in and contribute?
Brian has a high motor, you know, big effort guy, does some tremendous things for us, just rushing the passer. He's really solid in the running game. You know, got a experience with Bryant from Carolina, so I know him and what he brings to the table.
I think we always talk about how an environment affects an offense, a crowd on the road affects an offense. Does an environment like Pittsburgh affect the defense too?
I think we're going to be excited just for the mere fact of, you know, we haven't won there since '03, and that's saying a lot in itself. So our guys are going to accept that challenge. You know, we've had a great week of practice. We're looking forward to going up there, divisional opponent, and it's going to be a good game.